Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Dan from Big Bucks Trading. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how XRP is doing exactly what Dogecoin did before it went parabolic, and I'm going to be showing you guys my target for XRP this bull run. Also, if you haven't checked out my Twitter, it's Standout Trading. I go over stock plays and crypto updates throughout the week. So in my last video I did go over how XRP's chart looks identical to Dogecoin's chart before it went parabolic. But I want to take a more in-depth view into it and show you guys where we are at right now in the Doge fractal and that it could be ready to explode. So if you compare the charts, you could see how they bottomed at the same exact time. You could see these lows. This is XRP up here and this is Dogecoin down here. You can see it did a double bottom right there. Same with XRP. They topped in the same area, came back down, rallied back up. Topped in the same area again, topped over here, and then you could see their bottom came in at the same exact area, and XRP has continued to follow it and just start to march its way up ever since that bottom came in. So if we take a look at this double bottom again on Dogecoin, you could see that that was pretty much the last rally before we just went into a consolidation period for a very long time, and same happened with XRP. After it rallied, it had this resistance level right up here and then went into a long consolidation. But then when it started to march up, it broke that level, and that was the key level that it retested before it went parabolic. You could see that it broke right through it, retested it, but it did consolidate for a little bit after and kind of retraced the move back down, but then went on to go parabolic. If we take a look back at the XRP chart, you could see that it rallied, we had that resistance level come in, went to long consolidation, had more resistance, broke through, and now it retested it just like it did back here on Dogecoin. So if you draw your Fibonacci retracement from the top of the bull market to the bottom of the bear market on Dogecoin, you could see that it went on, after it retested that rally resistance up in here, after it retested that, it went up and went parabolic and went out to that 4.236 extension. You could see that it wicked it perfectly, and then it ended up crashing almost 57%. But then it did continue to go higher. Now if we take a look back at XRP and we draw our Fibonacci retracement from the high of the bull market to the bottom of the bear market, you could see that that 4.236 is at about $13.50. So if XRP were to continue following what Doge has done, it would take it up to around $13.50. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is that in the last bull run, to figure out the measurement of how high Bitcoin would go, I measured the 0.236 Fibonacci level as a resistance of that high of the 2013 bull run, and you could see that it pinpoint hit that 4.236 before we went into our next bear market. As you can see, this method worked with other altcoins like Sia Coin. You measured your 0.236 level as a resistance level on top of the peak of the previous bull run, and it went out to that 4.236 level before crashing. This method also worked with XRP. When you measured that 0.236 as a resistance of that peak right in there, it went up to our 4.236 extension before crashing. When you measure your Fibonacci retracement from the swing high of the top of the bull market, of our last bull market, to the bottom of the bear market, that is my target for Bitcoin for this bull run, which is around 73,000, that 4.236 extension. So in the last bull run, XRP went up to the 4.236 using the same measurement technique as we did for Bitcoin. If it were to follow the same measurement technique in this bull run, it would take it up to $13.50 as well. And in the past, whatever measuring technique we used for Bitcoin, XRP went up to that extension as well. The last thing I want to show you guys is how XRP has been bouncing off of this curved trend line since 2018. You can see every time it touches it, it bounces very hard. 127% there, 106% there, almost 200% there. You can just see how it's making these big moves once it hits this trend line. 1,000% off of that bounce right there. This recent one went up about 170%. So you can see that we are getting close to that trend line, but we are not quite there yet. So I think worst case scenario for XRP is that it pulls back down to this trend line, and worst case scenario 0.786 Fibonacci level, like maybe a wick past this curved trend line before a big bounce comes in. As you can see on Dogecoin, that resistance up there, once it broke through it and came down and retested it, it did go sideways for a little bit, and it did retrace that move back down before going higher. In this example, it went down to our 0.786 Fibonacci level. So whether or not it does touch that curved trend line and go back to around 70 to 80 cents, I do think that the bottom is near for this short-term correction that we've been in, and we are going to start marching our way back up to that all-time high. In my last video, I go over how XRP is following the same structure from our second and third subwave in wave 1. So if you haven't checked out that video, definitely go check that out. But I go over how when it broke out of this wedge, it came up, bull flagged, and then went on. XRP isn't quite following along with that bull flag now, but you could see that once it broke that trend line, it just kind of grinded downwards and just kind of consolidated on that trend line before pushing higher. And if we look at what XRP is doing right now, it's doing the exact same thing still. It's still along that trend line, just bouncing on that support. So I'm still sticking with my plan that it's just going to keep on kind of consolidating around the support level of this trend line before it does march its way up to that all-time high. So that's going to be it for the video. That's what I think is going to happen next. I think that the short-term correction that we've been in is almost over. Worst case scenario, back down to 70 to 80 cents before this thing starts to go absolutely parabolic. If you guys like this video, drop a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and I'll continue to post more of this type of content. Have a good one.